where the GOP won 21 races.
Welcome,
and the
Facebook
Democrats
folks.
just 12. For governorships, where Republicans now control 34 states to the Democrats' 15.
Really? It's still
and
searching?
in the House, where the Republicans
Wow.
won at least 241 seats to the Democrats' 194. These are crushing margins, and the GOP has now won the House of Representatives 4 times in a row and 10 times of the last 12. The conservative trend over the last 25 years is so obvious that only blindly biased observers could continue to ignore it. I'm Michael Medved.
Protect your wealth with gold and silver from Roslyn Capital. Call 800-299-8200. 800-299-8200.
Did you know that 63% of homes contain allergens from cockroaches? And that mice spread potent asthma triggers found in 82% of homes? It's true. Common household pests are major offenders on the list of indoor allergens.
Major offenders.
Learn what you can do to help your family breathe easier. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association and the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Welcome to the show.
Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is
Tom,
on the air
by.
now. Taking calls at
Hot
713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio. 713-785-1817 is our number. That's 713-785-1817. So today has been such a crazy morning. I just have to tell you that right off the bat. So I've got my daughter this week, and so she's scheduled to be at school at she's got to be at the bus by 7:15, and so we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's what we're supposed to do. This morning, oh my gosh, my alarm clock, I don't know if it didn't go off or I didn't hear it or what. I have to say, when I went to bed last night, I was exhausted, and so woke up at 7:15 this morning. So which means that she missed the bus. I had to take her to school. I had to shower fast. I had to do all of that. And here I am live on the show saying good morning. So let's talk real estate today. So what I'd like to do is give out the phone number, 713-785-1817. We're having a little bit of issues with the Wi-Fi. Yay, Comcast. Aren't they fun? Yay, they're so awesome. Not really. But so yeah, our Wi-Fi it's not stellar right now. I've got it going on my iPad. It's on my Apple computer, but it's and I don't know if it's a setting. They keep changing our settings, so it keeps not having the right password and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put in the new password right now. So bear with me. And then my keyboard kind of goes out on me. So anyhow, this is great radio, isn't it? So let's see, @ there. So y'all know part of our password has the @ now. So if y'all come in, and so I've got a meeting at 10 o'clock today. We've got, this says not the right password. That's not good. See if it's anywhere up there. It's got to be this. So that, and then @ and there. And if that's not it, we'll just keep on going. So anyhow, so talking about real estate, I think we've contracted 7 houses today. Some unusual situations. Yesterday we closed a house. We bought a house for like $40,000. We didn't do anything to it. We were going to sell it for $75,000, I believe it was. Buyer wanted to buy the house to live in, to move into it. And so she had a house worth about $165,000. I think it needs a little bit of work, not too much. And so she bought our house at $75,000. We bought her house at $95,000. And so she got our house, and we gave her $25,000 cash to make the deal work. And so she got a house plus $25,000 downside, and we got her house. So we're really in her house for about $65,000, right? The $40,000 that we were in for our house plus the $25,000 that we gave her. So we're in her house for $65,000. And it's probably worth $165,000. So how many of y'all guys would do that? I'd do that. I think that's okay. So let's see here. I'm going to share I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm multitasking here. I'm going to share this on my own site here. Oh, man, I don't even have access. Let's see, posting as, no, doesn't work. Can't share it. Can't share. Oh, here we go. Sharing it on mine, and I'm posting it as me. So now I'm posting it. There we go. Did that. Now I'm going to go live on this page here. And so now I can see people, and I got to turn the volume down on that so I'm not getting feedback. Muted that. Okay, good. All right. So there we go. All right. Now I get to see people's, hey, good morning, Ginger. And, so I was able to, it's always fun when I'm able to talk to listeners of the radio outside of the radio show. So she got a deal where she's looking at 5 potential houses. They're either in a trust or in a probated situation, so we're not really sure yet, but we're going to find that out. We're going to help her out. So if y'all ever need help on a deal, feel free to give us a call. Call me on my number if it's a sales question. My number is 832-473-7071, or you can go to Right Path Real Estate Radio. You can send us an email, or you can send it to to Veronica at rightpathrealestate.com. That's Veronica at rightpathrealestate.com. And if you ever want to get a hold of us, you want to talk about a deal or something like that, you can do that. If you want to call and talk about a deal right now, 713-785-1817. That's 713-785-1817. I went to an event. I got invited to a network marketing event on, today's Friday. So it was on Wednesday. Went Wednesday night. There's a new network marketing company that's getting started. They're about 8 months old. They've got some interesting things. What one of the things they do is they provide financial education for the average person. What you realize is that there's a lot of people that don't understand basic economics. And so we meet with a lot of people that just want to learn how to do the transaction of real estate. They want to find a deal. They want to fund the deal. They want to market the deal. They want to learn how to flip. They want to learn how to buy and hold. They want to learn how to wholesale. And what we see is there's a lot of gurus out there that aren't actually doing real estate. That, it's either they did real estate 20-something years ago. They bought their last single-family house 20 years ago, and they're teaching you, what they know. And what they know is what they did 20 years ago. And it's a completely different market. When Jason and I were talking about this the other day, and what we did this year in 2016 is different than what we did in 2015 in terms of what we were targeting and how we were buying and things like that. And it was different than what happened in 2014. The market is constantly evolving because your competition's constantly evolving and your sellers are constantly evolving. And the nuts and bolts of the business itself, it's not necessarily changing because the numbers are the numbers, right? But how you present the numbers and all of those kind of things that, back in 2010, 2011, you could buy a lot of properties, at auction on foreclosure or post foreclosure. You could buy it from, as REOs, which is real estate owned. When banks own real estate, you can buy it through their REO department. You could buy it off of HAR because there were foreclosures on HAR that needed work. If you were using that as your strategy today, that just wouldn't be working. There's a software program that we use that as a CRM, and it was originally designed by the users by this company. They did a lot of short sales across the country, and they had to create their own CRM because there was nothing out there that gave them the tools that they needed, in order to track the short sale process. Because the short sale process is a very, very time-consuming, very detail-oriented, keeping track of each communication with all the different players involved. There's, you've got the seller, you've got the bank, you've got the, potential buyer, you've got the bank's got a lot of the appraiser, the people that are going to give the broker price opinion. They call it the BPO. I mean, we have all these acronyms and slang. But you've got to communicate with all contractors that have to give bids and justification back and forth for why you're buying the property for what's less than what was borrowed on it. All of those kind of things, creating a business case for the bank to sell it for less than what they are owed on it, for them to essentially take a loss on the deal. But to at least get the asset off the books, because it's a non-performing asset, and that's non-performing assets don't look good on banks' balance sheets. So when the regulators come in, that's always a bad thing, right? So there's this CRM that tracks all of that. But getting back to short sales, there's really not many short sales that are in the marketplace. If we wanted to build a business model out of doing short sales, I mean, there's just not that much of a volume of doing it. So one of the things that we teach people is like, hey, look, if you're going to flip houses or if you're going to wholesale houses, and some wholesalers out there, they don't like when we talk about this, especially the wholesalers that are selling real estate education. But that if you're not at least making twice what a real estate agent would make based on the median home price in your marketplace. Let me break that down in some numbers. Median home price in Houston is about $200,000. A real estate agent makes 3%. So a real estate agent makes about $6,000 as a broker, essentially. Whatever your broker split is, like when I first started as a real estate agent, I was using a discount broker here in town. They just charged a flat fee, $175, and I got everything else. So on a $200,000 house, if I represented the seller or if I represented the buyer, then I'd get the $6,000 on a $200,000 sale, and then I paid them $175. So I netted $5,825 out of the $6,000. I mean, I got the lion's share of it, but I was the one doing all the work, right? So I wouldn't get much support from my broker because I wasn't paying him for that. Now I could pay him extra for some extra support, but I wasn't doing that, right?
2 minutes.
So if I'm not making at least double that as a wholesaler, if I'm not making at least $12,000, then I'm losing money, because it would be easier for me. I guarantee you I can get 2 listings faster than I can get one wholesale deal that I can sell. So if I'm not at least making $12,000 on a wholesale assignment fee, I ought to quit wholesaling and I ought to just start becoming an agent. And there's nothing wrong with being an agent.
Caller.
But people want to say, but I want to be a real estate investor. And it's okay to be a real estate investor, but you got to know your numbers. You're losing money if you're not at least making double what you would make as an agent, because your cost of being an agent is going to be lower, and finding the deal on a listing or finding the deal to represent a buyer is going to be less than finding a deal that you buy at such a discount that then you can turn around and sell to an investor, because your cost of acquisition is higher than that. So your time is worth more than that. So I know we've got a caller. We're going into a break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Caller, if you'll hold through the break, I'll get to you first thing after the break. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
Mic's off.
Thanks. Who's the caller and where are they calling from?
Holt, Sugarland.
Cool. Holt, Sugarland.
Are you a realtor or seller that is
Hope he's not
concerned
calling about my
the new
driving
trade
this
rules
morning.
and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close.
I hate oversleeping. I hate it.
Oh my God, I haven't done it in forever. I look down and I'm like, it seems brighter outside than I think it should be for this time of year. And I look down at my phone and I'm like, oh, snap. It is 7:15.
And let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction.
And then I had to tell my daughter, I was like, hey, sweetie, it's 7:15.
The Realty Investment Club of Houston has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Come check us out at richradio.org. If you're considering learning how to invest in real estate, then richradio.org is the quickest way to learn how to make money in the Houston market.
And I'm not normally on the show on Friday.
We're guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH radio.org.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com. Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
We'll take Holt
our
first
team
and
has
then
over 50 years
let Terry know I'll
experience in
get
the
to her right
mortgage
after Holt.
industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
All right.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Politics is big business.
Cool.
In fact, it's the biggest business of all.
Enough time
and it directly
to go into
affects every
settings
business
here.
in this country. Tune into your afternoon drive each weekday at 5, where we discuss news and politics that impact us right here in the Bayou City. Remember the afternoon drive with me, Chris Blaney, weekdays at 5, right here on Business 1110 KTEK.
Screen timeout settings.
Are you behind on your taxes?
Find
the IRS
setting
is the
when
largest and most
plugged in,
aggressive
turned
collection agency in
on.
the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote at 800-207-1265. 800-207-1265.
Mike's in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. It is Friday, December something. Going to be at the Rich Club tomorrow, so if you want to hear me live or if you want to see me live, then live and in person, not just Memorex. That's an old commercial. Hey, I've got 2 callers, so we're going to go to Holt first. Holt, you're calling from Sugar Land. How you doing today, Holt?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Great, thanks.
Hey, quick question for you. I heard Jason reference in terms of the market and where you guys are going towards in 2017.
Yes.
That you guys are going to start doing a little bit more buy and hold. And so I just kind of wanted to hear, obviously you guys are seeing some in the marketplace or believe some things are coming that are going to cause a shift in the market. So can you speak a little bit to what you guys are going to do and why you're doing that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we've always been a big fan of buy and hold. Our challenge has been long-term financing. Because if I'm just an individual investor, I can go and get my 10 Fannie Mae loans, all that, right? So everybody knows that. But what's happened is 2 things. One is that when we're able to buy a property at 70% minus repairs and it's in that buy and hold space, then we make enough money. Let's say if we're making $30,000 on a I'll call it a hotel to a buy and hold guy. We bought it at 70% minus, let's say, $25,000 in repairs because we could flip it at that price. But a buy and hold guy only needs to spend $15,000 in repairs because you don't have to do all the things that a flip guy has to do, like countertops and some of those kind of things. And so when you run the numbers at 85% minus $15,000 in repairs, man, sometimes it creates a $25,000 spread. And it takes a lot of $400 a month rental payments in terms of profit to make $25,000. And so we put that $25,000 back into marketing, and we get a $5 to $10 per dollar spent in marketing more growth in our business. So as we've been in growth mode, we've been choosing to do that instead of hanging on to the properties. So we believe that buy and hold is a great wealth preservation strategy, but not as great of a wealth creation strategy. Flipping was better at creating wealth for us because we could plow that money back in and we were churning our money so fast. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then the other thing is that when we're signing off on, we've got let's say a 90 to 120 day lag time that we're having inventory and properties. So we're doing, let's say 8 properties a month times 4 months. We've got 32 properties that we have on average about $200,000 worth of ARV. We're in those deals at 70% all in. So there's about $60,000 or $140,000 of borrowed money on 32 properties. So it's about $6 or $7 million that we're personally on the hook for those mortgages. So anytime you own 50% or more than those of a business that owns real estate that has loans on it, then that counts against your Fannie Mae financing. So really it's been able to, it's the funding of it. So we've just found a guy that we like a lot. Won't share his name or anything like that, but he's got deep pockets, and he's willing to fund an acquisition program of up to 500 single-family houses. So what happens to us sometimes is that we're able to run across, I'll give you an example. Lady says, hey, I've got my house. I want to sell it to an investor instead of an agent. So I want an easy transaction, but she wants $100,000. Now, it's move-in ready right now. She just doesn't want to fool with an agent. It's not really that she's cheap. She doesn't want to pay the 6% to the agent's fee. It's just the hassle of going to the agent. But she realizes, hey, I'll sell it to you for $100, or if you don't buy it from me, I'm not calling anybody else. I'll list that property for $120. And sure enough, we're like, it's at that price. I can't wholesale it to a buy and hold person. I can't flip it. There's not enough margin there. So we're passing on those deals right now because there's nothing to do with it. But I could pay $100 for that if I had the long-term financing. It's put a tenant in there for $1,300 a month, and it's a sweet deal, but there's not enough meat on the bone to either flip it or wholesale it. And because we didn't have the long-term financing, or because if we had bank financing, then they still want us to put 20% of that $100,000 down, and we're going through our capital. That's not the best utilization of our capital. So it's not what we're seeing in the market. It really was a financing issue more than a market issue. I mean, there are deals out there. And so imagine if we had, 500 of those deals at $100,000 a piece that have an ARV of 120. But because the guy that's going to fund this program for us, he understands financing at a high level. And he realizes although that's a relatively thin margin, it's 20%, or a little bit more than 20% on an ARV basis. He sees that if it's renting for $1,350, $1,400 a month, that really should be a $130,000 or $140,000 house when interest rates rise. And so he wants to partner with us. He gets half the depreciation. We get half the depreciation. We split cash flow on a quarterly basis or however we do it. And then he gets the appreciation on the backside along with us. So we've created a real win-win-win scenario. So it's not so much what we see going on in the marketplace, but it's really just finding somebody that really got what we're doing and wanted to partner and wasn't so greedy that they wanted interest plus partnership plus, just all these crazy numbers where it didn't work. So that's really what it came down to. And we just came to a verbal agreement. We've been talking about it for a couple of months, and it finally looks like it came to fruition yesterday. And so that's why we've been talking about it just recently. So that answer your question, Holt?
Holt hung up.
Okay.
He hung up.
And then Terry, I know you're the next caller, so welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Terry.
That subject about short sales and being a realtor compared to being a wholesaler. I wanted to say, as the short sale queen of Houston,
yes,
I've been getting a lot of calls in the last probably 30 days from investors, wholesalers, and buy and hold guys, flip guys, who are finding deals and wanting to see if it qualifies as a...
Yeah, because the only way the numbers work, in other words, the numbers don't work, there's not enough equity in the deal. Because, when we talk about, for our brand new mastermind students, or even the people that attend our class, they say, hey, what are you looking for when you find a deal? And the number one question I look for is equity. Number two thing I look for is motivation. But if I had to choose between one or the other, I have to have equity to be able to buy at the number that makes sense for me as an investor. And what you're saying is some investors are, through their marketing, finding some deals that under the traditional either buy and hold strategy or buy, fix, and flip or wholesale strategies, there's not enough equity in the deal. So the only strategy that they're left with is a short sale. And unless they get really creative with owner finance or buying it subject to, that kind of stuff, that the only way that it really works is a short sale. So they call you just to see if it works.
Exactly. And so I have to go over those two exact points with them. The equity, the numbers, does it work? I do have some people trying to do subject twos with these things. That doesn't work. But the other thing that we're finding, Tom, is sometimes the numbers don't work because they're so far behind.
And they need so much in repairs, right?
And they need so much in repairs. And not only that, when investors think about repairs, the bank don't see it the same way.
They don't. That's right.
You might want to put granite countertops in there and think that's major, but the bank doesn't see it that way.
No, they don't.
Not only that, but remember the houses in Houston are appreciating greatly, so they might owe one number, but the house ARV is top value. The bank is not going to do a short sale on those properties.
That's right.
Not only that, but number two, you mentioned motivation.
Right.
We got some people that might be able to do a short sale. I had two situations just this week, but people aren't motivated.
No, they're really.
They've been living in the house for 2.5 years for free.
Right.
They've already filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, why would you stop that? Yeah, why would you want to work on getting out of that house?
Exactly.
Yeah. Ride that train a little bit longer. I mean, it's tough to beat free rent. In fact, we bought a short sale in Sugar Land. It's our first short sale ever. And we closed on it about 2 weeks ago. And Fast Track's, we did the foundation repair last week. And Fast Track's moving in today, as a matter of fact. And I think it's kind of funny because the very first crew that I ever had back in October 2010, that when I started Fast Track, they're going to be the crew doing this particular house. So I'm like, I'm at all this nostalgia going because I can't wait to get over there and just say hello to Daniel and all that because he's a great guy. And, he's been a blessing to me and I've been a blessing to him. And so I'm excited about that house. But, it was funny because when the family was ready to move out, they hadn't paid in a couple of years. And we had worked on the bank, and the biggest thing that made the deal work is there was major foundation issues with the house. And so that scared away a lot of investors, and so the bank really got it, that affected the market value a lot. So we picked it up for a good number. And, I can share the numbers. I mean, I think it's a 165 ARV because the exact same design of the house right behind it sold remodeled for 165. We picked it up for $72,000, and it needs about $40,000 in repairs. And so the numbers work all day long on that. But there weren't.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Is that they had major foundation problems. The banks typically don't want to touch those.
Right. That's exactly right. And here's the other thing is I see a lot of people where it's just a light rehab because a lot of investors, especially new investors, want to do a light rehab. You don't get the kind of discounts from the bank when they don't see major stuff that's wrong. When they see major stuff, then they're like, okay. But, it took 3 different appraisers going in doing a BPO because they were like, well, maybe somebody's in collusion here. And so 3 different appraisers had to go in there and say, yeah, this house is in really bad shape. They bred huskies in, there were husky breeders as a profession. And so you can imagine what the yard looked like, what the house looked like, and all that kind of stuff, and what it smelled like. And it was completely torn. I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. The master bathroom has a really bad slate job in there, and the countertops are atrocious. The bathtub's horrible. The guest bathroom is atrocious. The kitchen looks horrible. So all the places where the money, the most expensive rooms are kitchens and bathrooms, right? So it needed all of that. The only thing good about the house was the roof. But the air conditioning needs to be redone. The backyard needs to be redone. The whole house. I mean, it's major. And we're going to be doing it all for about $40,000, which is a lot for that size. I mean, it's a 1,600 square foot house. So.
Hey, Tom, did you guys pay for the appraisal yourself at
some
point?
One minute.
All that was being done by the agent. We had an agent that brought the deal to us. And so, no, we didn't pay for anything other than. Now, I'll also say this, that there's a law firm that's doing short sales as well. And so because this law firm was involved in it, otherwise I don't think it would have ever gotten done. Because I'm not seeing the banks really wanting to work unless it's really in a bad situation. But here's the funny part. The people that were living in the house, of course, you nailed it. They've been living there for free. So they wanted to do a lease back after I bought the house, and I'm like, no, I don't. They're like, they need some more time to find a place. And I'm like, well, you're not going to find a place that's as big as this place in this neighborhood for the same price which you've been paying, which is nothing, right? That takes a dog breeder. I mean, where are you going to find that, right? So I want free in the same neighborhood that takes dog breeders And it's like, no, that doesn't exist out there. You'll never find that. So, no, I don't want you as a tenant, because if you couldn't pay your mortgage, you're certainly not going to pay your rent, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, but you remember, you were the short sales queen back when it was smoking. I mean, there was a place and time where short sales were a great strategy, and you could do, if you had a pipeline going. I mean, I know people that were doing 30 a month.
Right.
But to try and teach that strategy today, and what pains me is that there are gurus out there teaching short sales strategy today. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's crazy. And there are people that are
waste of time and money to do that.
Right. There are people teaching how to invest in HUD foreclosures right now. I mean, there was a guy, at the last expo that took place in Houston for Real Estate Expo. There's a guy coming to town, and that's his one strategy, is teaching how to buy HUD homes. And I'm like, you're out of your ever-loving mind. So what people need to know, thank you, Terry, I appreciate the call. What people need to know, the point of all of this is, hey, you've got to be nimble on your feet. You can't lock into one strategy and ride that train for the next 20 years. What we see is the hottest market right now is single family. That we are contrarian investor. What I'll say is whatever's out of favor according to the marketplace in terms of valuations, that's what we want to be buying. It's the reason why we're not big on multifamily right now. Multifamily is so overvalued right now. Do we like multifamily? We love multifamily. It's easy to manage. People need a place to live and all that. But we're seeing multifamily deals at $68,000 a door on a Class C that they're calling it's Class B on the inside, but it's Class C on the outside because of the area and all that. So it's a Class C area, but a Class B product that's getting good rental rates, and it's got good cash flow and all that. But I guarantee you that within the next 2 to 3 years, that's not going to be $68,000 a door. There's going to be people that are paying $68,000 a door. It's a little bit like playing musical chairs, There's a lot of people, and as long as the music's playing, but when the music stops, not everybody's going to get a seat. Not everybody's going to get bailed out. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
The Realty Investment Club of Houston has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Come check us out at richradio.org. If you're considering learning how to invest in real estate,
off the radio
richradio.org is the quickest way to learn how to make money in the Houston market. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH, radio.org.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. We manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 5 years, Fast Track has completed over 500 projects, which has helped us create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Licensed in all states. Product availability varies. Agents may be compensated on enrollment.
This is Michael Medved. I'm here with Mike Stahl from Health Markets, helping folks find the right Medicare coverage. The news reports say that the rates might be going down.
The government projects the cost of Medicare plans will decrease this year. So you have to ask, are you getting the best rate? And Health Markets offers a free service to help folks maximize their Medicare benefits and save money.
The enrollment period for Medicare has already started. What is it people need to keep in mind?
Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic. With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing.
Seconds.
My advice, don't go it alone. Get unbiased help to find a plan that may cost less and cover more with lower co-payments, more choices like dental and vision, and the freedom to choose your doctors. With the enrollment deadline only weeks away, it's important to act now. Our Health Markets Medicare service is free.
Thanks, Mike. This is Michael Medved for Health Markets.
For your free Medicare assistance, call 800-351-2054. That's 800-351-2054. 800-351-2054.
This is Business 1110.
1.
Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio.
Sorry.
I'll move my microphone. 713-785-1817. That came back a little bit faster than I was expecting. I took my last bite. My mouth was full. Sorry about that, folks. So Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So we've been talking about real estate. So we've been talking about, we're about ready to aggressively get on a buy and hold campaign. It's not that we necessarily think that the market's better today than it was 2 or 3 years ago. It's just that now we get we finally locked in some longer term financing. Somebody that wants to partner with us on a deal. So we want to partner on about 500 single family houses, and which that's a good strategy. And we're coming across those properties anyway. So we're looking to do that. And what we see is, we think that if interest rates rise, what's going to happen is you're going to have some issues in the commercial marketplaces, in terms of office buildings or retail or multifamily. That a lot of those are so interest rate sensitive because they're being bought on such low cap rates that a 7 cap makes sense when cost of money is 2 or 3%. The trouble is that, in fact, even a 5 cap works. If you know anything about interest rate arbitrage, which is one of the many ways that banks make money, in addition to the fees and all the other things that they do for big loans and even commercial loans, things like that. I mean, the fees that they can get are, in some cases, interesting. Let's just use that word, interesting. So I was talking about the fact that if you're wholesaling properties, you're new to this, and you're trying to tack $5,000 on top of a deal, and I know that for a lot of people, $5,000, an extra $5,000 a month would make a lot of difference. I understand that. I've been involved in a direct sales business, since December of '99. And, first year made $40,000 in that direct sales business. Second year made $108,000. I believe that, but I've only been involved in one company ever. And, then it created a residual income for my family of it settled out about 10 years ago at about $4,000 a month. So really, without doing anything at all, it brings in about $4,000 a month of residual income. And, which is a nice place to start, on a monthly basis. So I understand how much of a difference $4,000 or $5,000 a month can make to a typical family. So I get the idea that a wholesaler can think that I can get a property under contract, make $5,000, and if I just do that 12 times a year, just one time a month, an extra $60,000 a year that's more than I make in my job. I mean, I get the discussion. But the reality is that's a little bit like somebody saying, I want to go down and I want to, buy a tub of Bluebell ice cream at the grocery store for, let's say, $4. and I want to sell it for $5 and make $1. Well, if you're just doing one, yeah, you can say in theory that you made $1. But the reality is you can't scale that to like 1 million units, right? So, because you're not really accounting for your cost of your time and your energy and what it would take to scale it. You're not really thinking of it as a business. You're thinking of it as a transaction. It's the difference between being able to go down to the auction and buying a car at the auction, at the used car auction, if you had a dealer's license, and let's say buying it for $12,000, and all you're going to do is you're going to turn around and mark it up to $12,500, stick an extra $500 in your pocket, and who couldn't use an extra $500, right? But you're not accounting for the time that it takes for you to go down there to the auction, watch the cars, spend a couple hours watching the cars, then bringing the car back and getting it detailed, or you're detailing it yourself, right? And then marketing. Well, you already have the buyer for it, so you don't really have any marketing costs. But you can't tell me that CarMax goes out there, buys a car for $12,000, can sell it for $12,500 and make money. And the reality is that because you don't have an economic understanding of how the business works, then you are deluding yourself when you are thinking that if I'm selling it for only $5,000 that you're making money. The reality is you could actually make more money if you just became a real estate agent. So you have to understand your numbers. In business, one of the key things to being successful in business, one is you got to have a good product. Second is you got to have a good service. Third is you got to have a good marketing program. It really comes down to marketing and sales in business, but you got to understand your numbers. If I've heard it once, I've heard it, it's not 1 million times, but I bet realistically it's a couple of thousand. I don't even know that it's approached 10,000, but I know for sure it's a couple of thousand times. People whining and complaining about bad contractors. And what I'll tell you is that there's a lot of guys out there that are contractors, and by an investor's definition, they might be bad. But what I would say is most of these guys are not bad guys. Are there some crooks out there? Yeah, there's some crooks out there. Most of the time what it is, they're just bad businessmen. They really don't know the numbers of their own business. They don't really understand that if I buy something for $100 and I want to make a 25% margin on it, or a 20% margin, let's take a 20% margin on it, that I've got to mark something up 25% in order to make 20% on it. So they don't even understand the difference between markup and margin. And if you don't understand that, it's going to be difficult, because you may say, hey, look, I think I can do, I don't know, let's pick a number, $10,000 a week worth of work. And based on $10,000 a week worth of work, that gives me about $500,000 a year worth of gross business. And so let's say I want to make $100,000 a year as the owner of the business. Then really all I need to do is figure out that if I can make 20% of the $500,000, then I'm going to make $100,000 for that year, right? So then what people will do is they'll go down and let's say they buy a toilet for $100 and they mark it up 20%. Now, you got to first off remember that if in Texas, if you're buying a toilet for $100, you don't walk out paying only $100. You walk out paying $108.25 because we pay sales tax. And in fact, it's interesting. I think sometimes you can tell. I see some. I won't call it a scam, but I'll say it. It's a lack of credibility, if you ask me. A lack of integrity when contractors are charging for sales tax, because contractors don't have to pay sales tax as long as they're buying the materials. When they buy the materials, if they're paying sales tax when they buy the materials, and they're doing a turnkey price job. So in other words, you're saying, hey, for all this work that you're doing, they're not breaking out labor and material. You're just paying them a flat $20,000, and you're not breaking it out for labor and materials. Then they're not supposed to charge you sales tax on the materials, and they're never supposed to charge you sales tax on the labor, because the sales tax has already been paid. That's state law, and it varies from state to state, so I'm talking about Texas. I know we have listeners in Oregon. I know we have listeners in Vegas. I know we have listeners in New Jersey and Florida, etc. But this is state, and it varies from state to state. But in Texas, you don't. But we're selling a house up in Atascocita, and the buyer of the house got a roofer to come out and give their opinion about this roof, and I agree the roof needs to be replaced. So we're doing it. So they gave an $11,000 bid, and they're charging sales tax on the materials, which they're not paying that sales tax to the controller. They're paying the sales tax when they buy the materials. So it's just really additional profit that they're building in, and they're just creating a false line item. Now, I think that that's dubious. Probably the best word. Off the air, I might use some other words, but on the air, I'll call it dubious. And I'm not naming their name or anything like that, but I don't think that stuff like that should be done. Now, that's different from a guy saying, hey, I can do this job for $20,000, and you get about 2/3 of the way in there, and instead of sending out 3-man crews, he's sending out 2-man crews, or he's out there just working on it himself. What it is he doesn't know his numbers well enough to bid the job correctly. And so he needed your $10,000 to start the job, that when he bid the $20,000, it really should have been a $25,000 job, and he's running out of money, and he realizes he's not going to make any money on the deal anyway, and so he's gone through the money you've already given him, and he's asking for more, and you're starting to push back, and he doesn't have the money to finish it. And that becomes a problem. And it's not necessarily that he's a bad guy, it's just he's not a numbers guy. Because just because you're good at, take an artist, for example. I mean, how many of you guys think that an artist, somebody that paints, he may be a great artist, but do you think he's really great at business? No, he's not great at business. I can tell you that. He or she, they're not typically great at business. And a lot of contractors, they may be great at laying floors. They may be great at painting and laying, hanging sheetrock or patching sheetrock, all those kind of things. They're not necessarily great at business. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mike's off.
Thank you.
Join a group of hardworking investors willing to share their knowledge and experience with others. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Discover more at richradio.org. The Realty Investment Club of Houston, the Rich Club, has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Join the Rich Club.
So looking at Facebook, it says one of the tracks
in Houston.
In Vegas is buying foreclosures. Yeah, not only that, I bet they're also talking. In fact, I know Jason is going to be on the panel of buying properties off of MLS. And it's like, oh my God, it's just like, if you're flipping houses, if you're buying and holding, Jason and I have made an argument that, if you've got money that you want to put into buy and hold real estate, there's an argument to be made to buy retail-ready houses straight off of MLS in a particular price range, and it makes sense.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion
that's if you're investing your retirement money.
Imagine
if you're actively living off of your real estate investing dollars, or if you're flipping houses, you cannot buy houses off of MLS and make money.
At Quest IRA,
it just can't be done.
Retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Looking for straight answers to your financial questions? Tune in weekday mornings from 8 to 9 for Straight Talk Money, hosted by Mike Robertson. No hype, no infomercials, just plain talk to give you the information you need to make you a better investor. We may not be able to control the future, but we can learn to control how it impacts us. Listen to Straight Talk Money, hosted by Mike Robertson, weekdays 8 to 9 a.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.
If you're using drugs or are addicted to pills or alcohol, you need help. You know that your addiction is harming your life, your job opportunities, and most importantly, your loved ones. That's where we come in. The Kick Addiction Network specializes in getting you the help you need to beat addiction.
All right, 15
Our network
seconds.
of treatment specialists can help you get clean and have the experience and track records to show for it. And if you're struggling with addiction and have private insurance, your help may be fully covered. Give us a call 24/7 at 1-800-KICK-ADDICTION.
All right, stand
That's
by.
1-800-KICK
Hot mics in
addiction.
5, 4,
This is Business
3,
1110.
2, 1.
Hey, you've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. It is Friday, December 2nd, I believe it is. Yeah, today's December
2nd.
Yeah, today's December 2nd. Thanks, Nikki. So Jason is actually on a plane right now. He left at 6 o'clock this morning. Actually, may have just landed. Should be in the beautiful city of Las Vegas in the middle of the desert. And he's going to be speaking this weekend. He's going to be hosting an event, a private event. If you want to get an invite, then go to our Right Path Real Estate page and like it, and then send him a message through the Right Path page. He should be monitoring Facebook. Or you can actually send him a message on his Facebook page personally, Jason Bible, on Facebook. And there's not a lot of Jason Bibles out there on Facebook, I promise you that. It's Bible like the book. So he's going to be speaking at the Ignite event by Fortune Builders. And so he's going to be on a panel of experts, plus hosting a private event at a local bar there. I should say a local brew house. That's probably the best way to call it. So they're going to shut down the brew house for the event that they're going to have, and we're going to have it all to ourselves for a private event. And then I will be live at the Rich Club at the main event at the Rich Club. I'll be there bright and early at 8:30 in the morning because I want to get my door prize ticket. And my daughter's going to be there signing people in, so it's going to be fun times. And it's going to be lots of education, lots of networking, going to be lots of great times to see, what's going on in the marketplace and what other people are doing and what their October was like. Just let everybody know. It's like I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Alex Delatorre, yesterday. And or maybe it was the day before. Yeah, it was actually the day before yesterday. And he goes, hey, how was your October? And I said, we had a down October. And he goes, oh man, that makes me feel so much better knowing that I was not the only one. And October was a down month. Now we've got a bunch of bandit signs getting ready to go up in the next couple of days. We think we're going to kill it in December. And when I say bandit signs, I'm talking about the 10-foot tall, 22-foot wide. You can see our screensaver if you're following us on Facebook. And it says sell us your house at the top, HoustonHouseBuyers.com in the middle, and then a phone number. And we don't have to worry about the sign police or anything like that. But it'll be a lot of fun to see how that works for us. So we've never done 100 billboards across the city of Houston before, and we're excited about that. So if you want to learn more personally about how do you get involved in real estate, whether it's buy and hold, whether it's buy, fix, and flip, whether it's wholesaling, you need to give us a call. Not on the radio show right now, but what you need to do is actually email Veronica at Veronica, that's Veronica at rightpathrealestate.com. Or you just need to go to rightpathrealestate.com and fill out the form, and you'll get on our list, and you'll know about each of the times that we're going to be speaking in person at a live event. Jason and I also are going to be at an event next week on Tuesday, I believe it is, with Noble Money. And so you'll get a chance to see us both together at the same time. So you've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Hope you enjoyed the show. Maybe you learned something today. But get involved in real estate. Start today.
Mike's off.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.